Well, hello. Happy Thursday to you. I'm Crystal, and this is 3 Things on Thursdays, which is a video where I'm going to talk about 3 things that I've been reading, watching, and listening to. It's probably going to be the last one as well. I'll get into more of that later. First, here are the 3 things that I was going to tell you about. I have been reading this fantastic collected edition of Rye from Valiant Comics. It's the first 4 issues plus issue 0, and it is so freaking 90s. I love it. Look at it. Look at it. Super good. I love Valiant Comics. They are the comics that I started collecting as a little tot back in the 90s. Mainly because they sold Valiant books in 3-packs at the dollar store in Beachmont Mall. And that's what Mom would buy me. And so I would get there. So I had a good amount of Rye and Archer and Armstrong and Shadow Man. Not very many X-O Manowar because he was their main title. So he didn't make the dollar store cutoff, I guess. But it's great. He's the protector of New Japan. It takes place in like 4001. And it's funny to see what in the early 90s they thought would look futuristic compared to the revamped series of Rye by Matt Kint that they redid in the early 2000s. And the difference in how they look is just fantastic. But it's super nostalgic. I just had a lot of fun reading it, and I was like, these are the comics that, yes, this is why I got into comics, because they're fun to read. They're enjoyable. And it's actually like a heartfelt story about a dad that's just trying to be a better dad and protect people. And he's got that struggle of like family, calling. And so it's that tension I didn't pick up on as a kid. And so it's just a great read. I'm going to revisit it quite frequently whenever I'm feeling very nostalgic. So that's what I read this past week. What I watched is a show called Foundation. It's on Apple TV because I had a free trial. And so I had to watch it before the free trial expired. Wow. It's based on a set of novels by Isaac Asimov, who you should know is like the father of sci-fi writing. And it was like 10 episodes. Incredibly beautiful show. I know I said it. It's the dude excuse of like, yeah, but it's a beautiful show. It is. It's a beautiful show. It's sci-fi. It's giant. It's sweeping. It's space. It's time travel. It's politics. It's different worlds. It's different cultures. It's just it was really fascinating. It follows 3 separate timelines simultaneously, so it'll jump from like the 3 brothers to the followers to the mathematicians. And at first you're like, what is happening? By the end you're like, oh my gosh, they're all connected. It's all connected. And it was great. It was an enjoyable watch. I liked it. Once I started, I cranked through them, I think in 2 sittings. So if you have Apple TV or a free trial, give it a shot because I think you'll like it. What I've been listening to this week is a whole lot of punk rock. I don't know if you saw my announcement. If you're watching this, you probably did, unless the algorithms have changed and you don't see my posts on Facebook and Instagram. You just see the videos that I put. I don't know how it works, but I'm going to be hosting a new radio show. It's on roostershamilton.com. It's called Rooster Radio. It's based here in Hamilton, and my show is going to be called Punk Rock 911. It's going to start April 1st. It's going to be Mondays and Fridays from 9 to 11. So start and end your week with a blast of punk rock with me, your host, Crystal. Because of that, I have been listening to a ton of punk rock just to get ready, and I keep coming back to The Clash. If you knew me in high school, I went through a big The Clash phase, and then even in college, I did the same thing, and their music is I just really enjoy it. It makes me dance, it makes me think, it reminds me of the easier, more naive times of the 70s that I lived in. Idiot. And so, because I've been listening to it, I put 3 of the Clash songs on my 3 Things playlist, which you can access by going to, say it with me, beacons.ai/I'm Crystal. Yay! And you can preview the playlist there. You can click through and get to Spotify and listen to it there as well if you want to. And I'm not going to tell you the 3 songs. You're just going to have to find out for yourself. So there it is. Regarding why this is probably the last show, at least for a while, is because I've been doing this for about 6 months. I've had a lot of fun putting these stupid little videos together. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate the people texting me and calling me to talk about either what I talked about, give me some ideas of ways that I can make the show better, things that I can include, other topics that I could do. I appreciate that. That's why I want to create content, is because it spurs on conversation. And I enjoy having conversation with you all, not just having a box checked on a social media site somewhere that says that we know each other. So, but because of the radio show, I want to make sure that I'm giving my full attention and energy and the time that it deserves. It's a bigger show than I've ever committed to. It'll be two-hour blocks every week. And usually it took me like 2 hours to plan 1 hour block once a week. And I know you're like, that's like minimal time, bro. I want to make sure I'm doing it right. And I don't know what that schedule is going to look like yet until I'm into the regular rhythm of it. So to set easy to follow expectations, I'm just going to hit pause on the video show. I'll probably still upload, like in my stories, what books I'm reading, or I'll occasionally post an update if I added some really cool music that I found in prepping for my show that I want you to hear outside of just listening to the show. And so I'll still continue doing the similar things. It'll just look different. It won't be all condensed into a video that I just spurt off crazy on caffeine for 5.5 minutes and that you watch and then like and comment and whatever. So that's just a heads up. Thanks for being along for the ride. Like I said, it's not the end. I would like to eventually pick it back up because I like making videos and I like editing stuff and adding graphics and doing all the stupid things that I do on these videos. But for now, it's not goodbye. It's see you later.